One more video to go, ladies and gents. Part 72 is the final One Piece video for YouTube. After that, it's exclusively on my Patreon for good. I'm really hoping to score 850 patrons, which is just under 140 souls from where I am now. So please consider checking out the Patreon, make a free account regardless to keep watching this series for free, but check out the tiers, and if you fancy it, join up, as every single pledge makes a huge difference to keeping the channel going. It's a real thing by now that any OP in One Piece will very likely score max wins. Not only was this a great song, which I preferred to the last, but it was packed with great visuals to boot. Most of all, I liked the artistic style used. The focus on the heroes, then the big reveals of Whitebeard and his crew, the warlords, the admirals, and so on. Plus, it was really centered on Luffy and Ace, which was entirely fitting for the story. I loved it, and it's an easy max wins. Gaining a bit of an insight into the views of the common people, or some of them anyway, into how they view Gold D. Roger, and now as revealed, his son. Getting easily the best view of the place yet. What a unique way of doing this shot, zooming into it from quite the distance to up close and having it look good whilst doing so. Rotating shot of Ace like it's no big deal. Very quick crowd shot. Feels like they gave us a brief look at some of the important people at this location right now. These fairly important looking Marines all looking different to one another. Obviously there's some repeats here and there, but even still, this crowd is insane. This view of Garp with a giant marine in front of him, coat billowing in the wind, is nothing short of incredible looking. To be honest, I oddly feel kinda honoured to be seeing this conversation. Like it's something so grand happening that I'm confused if I should even be hearing it, you know? This backstory is amazing, understanding their history and how we saw Garp back then as more friend than enemy. What I learned from this was that even though Garp was initially angered by the request, he knew he had to do the right thing ultimately in spite of his role, and he did do it. This island alone can have a win. It's got a beautiful looking distance shot, and then the homes, and that looks so well done, I couldn't just ignore it. Seeing the horrible lengths that they went to find the mother of his child, including murdering completely innocent women and jailing everyone else. Their evil shines through more and more now. Really pleased that we also got to see Ace's hometown and his mother, how she cared for him so deeply and where she lived. Just had to include that as a follow-up win to the last one, 2 back. How she basically willed her child to remain inside of her in order to protect his little life, whilst the Navy grew increasingly impatient with the long wait and coming up with nothing. How in this moment she didn't seem weirdly calm or at peace. She seemed angered, like a cornered cat ready to protect her child, not knowing Garp obviously came in peace. Ace. Seeing baby Ace for the first time in what is a genuinely lovely scene. Sadly, after she passed away so soon after the birth, I thought it was lovely for Garp to take him to the family home and where she once stood, willing him to remain safe with her all that time. Seeing a baby Luffy turn up to where Ace had been living all this time, which gives an amazing understanding of how they became so close, who raised them, and raises questions to why Luffy came here. Like, obviously we know who his father is, but what were the circumstances, you know? I think in terms of the story and for Ace as a character, having him still feeling this way at his potential end was such a nice touch, because he made that commitment and stuck to it. Wow, that right there is one of the biggest and most shocking reveals in ages, man. That Whitebeard knew who he was and took him on board in order to have Ace become king of the pirates. This raises an interesting question. If this is true, why did Whitebeard let him go alone after Blackbeard, even after Shanks warned him of the risks? God, I love this story! I also love this incredible, awesome looking shot. These two incredible looking shots of the raw power of the Navy on display. Big twist, it means Luffy is on his way. Probably, but also who the hell opened the gates? Oh my god, he's such an ass now pretending that he did this. Luffy totally falling for the act. It's so like him.
So, Yoruko!
How well this initial entrance was done. I'm always giving really unique looking ships that I like a win, so they can actually take max wins for this absolute smorgasbord of unique pirate ships. This Navy dude introducing us to a whole bunch of unique and powerful looking new characters. I tell you, if anyone was reading this manga back in the day, figuring this might be the final saga, seeing all these new characters suddenly being introduced had to disavow them of that notion toot sweet. You know what this reminded me of? An RPG where you start off with pretty bare looking ships and characters, then these guys are like from the end game. This whole first part of the introduction to what I very much presume is going to be Whitebeard and his ship being underwater and right close to them all this time. The ship being spotted, and most of all the clever idea of Whitebeard to have the ship coated in order to do this trick. How he called his ship Moby Dick is so cool, and of course how it's revealed here, and it's such a unique looking ship too, no less. In fact, take max wins for all that. That zoom in on a shocked Ace scores this amazing build-up episode one more. They bled this moment into the opening title reveal and of course the crowd shot, even if it is of their backs, down below there, shows so much dedication to the animator's craft. Perhaps the most shocking thing for me was that they did such a detailed ship all done by hand rather than CGI. I thought that was the most shocking part until 3 more identical ships turned up right on the same spot. All of these other new characters suddenly being introduced. I'm losing it, boys and gals! Seeing how shocked Ace is here, he really didn't expect him to turn up for him. Also a quick one for seeing the middle guy's face here properly for the first time. 2 wins, firstly for having a new character with a totally different laugh. Always liked how Oda and then the animators have done that. But also, at long last, we're seeing the man of the hour, Whitebeard. For clarity, I know we've seen him before, I just mean he's what the whole saga has been leading up to. A scene of him so cool looking I made it the thumbnail. Gives you a good understanding of their strength when the highest rank in the Navy is reacting in this way. His shock here, because ever since Luffy told him the story at Impel Down, he's very much been under the impression he's also Dragon's son.
エースの父ちゃんはゴールドロジャーだからな。
And another one, because no doubt this was even more shocking for him to hear, but also that Luffy just casually knew it all this time, like it's no big deal. Easily the best case of positioning I've seen in One Piece, where the animators have to recall where everyone is within the scene. In this moment, you can truly tell just how much Whitebeard clearly means to Ace. The start of something huge happening here, and I'm going to go ahead and already give it another unique Devil Fruit ability related win. As hyped as I am, I can't breeze past crowd shots like this and pretend they don't exist. This zoomed out shot looking so good, but also serving to show us the scope of what he just did. Stroke of genius, I think, to interject this moment and others with memories from Ace's past, such as saying goodbye to Luffy here when he left home. Also have one for showing us the first adventures of Ace, basically, in what is quite the lovely little town here. And then here, once he got his fruit power, it was no wonder he quickly rose through the ranks, really. That Ace was so powerful that he was offered to join the warlords already by the world government. How Shanks was originally on guard until he understood that Ace actually just wanted to thank him for what he did so long ago for Luffy. Now it all makes sense. Ace initially wanted to become king himself one day, and his plan was to beat Whitebeard, which obviously didn't work out, but also did in a way in the end. That Ace and Jinbei met all this time ago on his search for Whitebeard and fought him for 5 damn days? And that Ace actually did end up beating him back then too. Well, by a few seconds till he himself dropped anyway. I must admit, it's shocking to find out that Ace was only beaten after having fought Jinbei for so long. It's no wonder he lost to Whitebeard at that point, to be fair to him. Getting to witness the very short battle play out in which Whitebeard did shockingly end it with one attack. Almost looked like he used his Tash, which is strange, but anyway, let's continue. His welcoming into the Whitebeards, once he saw how much fight he had in him. But even better, perhaps, is how Ace didn't immediately take to that notion. I figured you don't fight for such a large chunk of your life, building your strength and crew to give in right away. Ugi from Code Geass. For clarity, that's sort of Lelouch's right-hand man for a while in Season 1. Quick win for one of the biggest mysteries in the whole anime for me right now, is finding out how Whitebeard got so injured. But also, now I'm starting to understand the power of Whitebeard, that he woke up during an attack from Ace, of all people, and was able to smash him out the room like this. Bruh, it's like he didn't even wake up and yet managed that. Not only was that some legit slick and smooth animation, but he smashed Ace again! Beautifully plays into my earlier window that he didn't just accept Whitebeard from the get-go, clearly. And how he kept on trying, again, and again, and again! I really liked his answer to the question of why they call him Pops and he calls them Sons.
ここに残って白ひげのマークを背負うか。
I also loved this moment, where in a pit of despair, perhaps Ace finally heard what he needed to in order to make his mind up. I'm guessing he never felt like such a rookie than during his time here either.
これが2番隊の隊長？ずっと欠番だったんだ。お前なら。
Have one for showing us the first adventures of Ace whilst a part of Whitebeard's crew now, using his strength to increase their size and taking his first command and so on.
まあ、随分古株だろう。なんとも思わねえのか。
やってくれ、エース隊長。
Of course, it was then a massive shock for me to see him and Blackbeard like this too, knowing what comes down the road. Really didn't have to do that in a weekly anime, but they did it anyway.
誰から生まれようとも人間みんな海の子だ。
Ace being accepted by his new pops once he told him the truth about who his actual father was is such a nice moment. Even though they aren't brothers, he just totally reminded me of Luffy here. Felt like Whitebeard looked at him with a father's pride to me.
まだ何の実かはわからねえけどね。
Getting to see the moment Blackbeard saw the devil fruit he had been after, I'm guessing, all this time. Wow, and he took out that awesome cook in order to get it too!
今回だけは妙な胸騒ぎがしてな。
This nicely adds context to my earlier win regarding why he let him go alone. Turns out he didn't really want him to go at all, and in fact worried greatly over it.
何より親の名を傷つけられて黙っていられるか。
The exit from Ace, but also the pain you could feel when Whitebeard couldn't stop him, especially because he was doing it for him and his name, must have been so difficult for him. Being given the Navy so many crowd wins, so I'm over the moon to do it for this shot of the Whitebeards now.
俺は行けと言ったはずだぜ、息子よ。
What an ending, man! Ace lamenting his choice, having brought them all here into danger, and then those final words.
認めたのに俺は。
俺は行けと言った。
I see this as Whitebeard basically taking on the sins of his son, as it were, and it's quite a beautiful thing to see.
そうだろ、マルコ。
ああ、俺も聞いてたよい。
おめえを傷つけたやつは誰一人生かしちゃおかねえぞ、エース。
And then the crew backing him up without skipping a beat too. Man, this is touching!
お前はまた傍観者希望か？どうせ暇つぶしに来たんだろ。好きにしな。
Mihawk totally cuts another really mysterious figure in the anime. He barely ever speaks and seems to have his own mission that his sights are set on.
こんなことありえんのか。さっきまで順調に進んでたってのに。
I know it'll be from the manga, but I just thought it was such a cool thing that Mr. 3 is holding onto Puggy's legs there.
自信に満ち溢れた姿が見えねえのかって言ってんだ。
あ、いや、そうは見えんがね。
Mr. 3 really does just see right through him all this time, doesn't he? That was such a cool shot! Get out of here! A nice big mystery being added to everything else going down was not what I had expected to come from Oda at this stage of the saga. I wonder what the heck caused this big old shadow?
なんだ。
Ah, so that's what I'm guessing he was doing back then. Like calling in a tidal wave or something to smash into them? Also, let's go ahead and give her one for wearing some new clothing again. Easily the coolest way anyone has ever revealed what someone else's devil fruit power is in the entire anime.
勢力で上回ろうが勝ちと鷹をくくるなよ。最後を迎えるのは。
This guy being a realist in this moment was definitely not something I had expected from him. It's also anti-anime. I feel like in every other anime, they'd be full of confidence.
あの男は世界を滅ぼす力を持っているんだ。
Jesus, what an outstanding reveal all of a sudden. So basically Whitebeard has a power that could do that, but he has chosen up till now not to. I am blown away. Take Max wins for it. Hearing them all yelling in the distance getting me dangerously hyped up now. The narrator expertly setting up the coming battle and then showing us like everyone of importance who are here right now. Hot damn, what a visual delight! You know it's huge when even the giants are craning their necks up. What a gorgeously done shot! How can you give me such a packed shot full of different looking marines and not expect a win in return?
Ice Age!
Oh my goodness, this walked so easily into Max wins, it's not even funny. It's my boy Dio shouting out his move as he, lightning fast mind you, freezes both walls of water to protect HQ. Just wanted to win this as an example of the age groups. Whitebeard calls him a young lad basically. Then we see these two right at the start of their careers essentially. Just a warning, I think a lot of Max wins are coming down the pipe. Of course this gets one. Firstly, it's for Dio wasting no time going onto the attack, and secondly, it's for Whitebeard not only quite easily defending himself, but returning the attack against his foe and landing it. I'm gonna lose my mind by the end of this saga, aren't I? No win here, just wanted to say what I wrote at the end there made me think. This is one of those perfect times where I can say, this is why if you love the content you should support me on Patreon. Because I already know at this midway point that the video is going to be monstrous in size. And it should be kept in mind that I will write and record every single word and then edit it painstakingly together at the end into the finished product you're watching now. I strive to reduce ads. I strive to reduce mistakes in the writing, which even AAA games companies fail to do. So yeah, any support is always so appreciated. Now back to it. The incredible strength and power of a Navy Admiral on display as he freezes the entire bay over in what was probably less than 30 seconds. The rank and file Marines trying to hype up one another after Whitebeard's earlier display of power likely shook them to their core. No more testing the waters, the battle is starting right now with this order. My literal words were, oh my god, this is insane. Because we're watching Smoker heading into battle and them all coming to blows, and it's amazing. The one thing in common in this short series of engagements is the noticeable concentration on fresh attacks when nothing is repeated. He's not exactly on our side, but you know, I can't help but enjoy watching Smoker do his thing, and I can't believe we've known him for so long either. Getting to see their massive pirate ships now firing back at Navy HQ base. And now the Vice Admirals have entered the battle, including the dude I liked who escorted Luffy's lady into Impel Down. My guess is that she's saying this because of the potential wrecking power of Whitebeard should he choose to use it. UP, the giant red dude from Hunter x Hunter. Always been a big fan of his voice actor's work. You can hear it right away. It's nice to have her back because she explains the lore regarding the swords in this one that I've always enjoyed seeing Oda expand upon due to Zoro's presence in the anime. Giving Max wins there to end that excellent episode as Mihawk launches his first attack in hundreds of episodes aimed right at Whitebeard, and it's a hell of an attack. Out of everything that could have happened, this was at the bottom of my list. Some dude rushing along to protect Whitebeard, who I thought could defend himself, to be honest, and clearly is strong enough to stop the attack. Big shock to me. Nice touch showing everything colour-wise returning to normal once the attack had been fully blasted away.
3番隊隊長ダイヤモンド・ジョーズ
Yet another new Devil Fruit ability! It's so cool that we were literally shown how he stores it on his back.
部長君だ正面突破か
Very smart of Oda, I think, to have him assessing the whole situation and making plans up there as the highest rank in the military there in person. He's also got a great view of the battle.
とことん化け物じみてるね
I can't believe how good this is getting now that the second admiral is getting involved in the battle. It's too much, man.
やさかにのマガタマ
Yet another foe to the Navy places themselves in the path of a direct attack on Whitebeard. This is again Max wins. He basically teleported, launched a massive attack, and it's been blocked again.
なんだ青い炎をまとっているぞ
Oh, it's this dude from before. I adore how there's someone else out there, except Rayleigh, who's able to take on his insanely powerful ability like this.
取れねえだろうよい
I'm not even sure if that's CGI or not, it's so well done. But also, oh my word, how cool looking is that?
ゾーン系厳重種見ろ傷跡が消えていく
Put your pitchforks down if I forgot, another new Devil Fruit ability and a completely different type of ability too.
あれが一番隊隊長
Back-to-back wins. Firstly, the animation is really top-notch here. Secondly, it's because One Piece has really felt like it's hit another dimension here for me lately, with these massive forming battles and great abilities and everything else. It's amazing. Man, oh man, it's like he's completely not even bothered by his attacks. 2 wins again. What a creative way to launch an attack on someone like him. And also, forgot to mention it before, but he's the voice of Tidus in Final Fantasy X. Even after taking a hit like that, he's up and about so quickly, he really is something else. Such a creative attack, but at the same time, utterly insane. Imagine, he already has such a great defensive ability, and then also has such strength. What a combo!
まったくあいつら誰がここを守るんじゃ
Without anything else even happening yet, I'm dropping an emergency win onto this. In fact, it needs 2 really, because it's yet another new ability, and some gorgeously done animation too.
大運か
And then of course one more for seeing an example of his strength and power, melting away all that ice so quickly. He's very similar in ability to Ace really. And a follow-up win naturally for the explosive, no pun intended, end to his attack, making it a double whammy where I'm concerned. This is like clearly a battle to end all battles right now, as even their largest ships are in some cases like here being completely destroyed, so a getaway is made tougher. Art style change! That was legitimately one of the casual, most badass things I've seen anyone do in this anime.
誕生ケーキにでも灯してやがれマグマ小僧
Such an insulting thing that highlights how strong he is compared to the others, that he'd say something like that about someone like him.
派手な葬式は嫌いか白ひげ
No massive win, just a great comeback. The ship's coming under an incredible attack from all the cannons as Whitebeard and his crew strive to protect the main one. It's so good to see the Navy throwing everything they've got into it, whilst Whitebeard's forces do their best to break through to Ace. That's gotta be a crazy new power, no?
これが本物の戦場
Who'd have thought that this young lad from episode 1 would be here, and in the midst of his own story of being friends with Luffy whilst siding with the Marines?
こんな奴らにかなうわけがねえ
And the same goes for him too. He spent all this time training with his friend, and yet when faced with absolute power like this, they're left genuinely too scared to move.
だからこそだよ俺もお前もここで死ぬわけにはいかねえんだ
I do like how he set that up. He said, don't take what I'm saying the wrong way. You need to survive here in order to make your dream come true, basically. Music mixed with a shot like this, and as an aside, I'm guessing he's what Luffy and the crew saw earlier, means I gotta give this max wins, and he's huge and wrecks a giant cannon. That's so wild. I had a feeling it had to be something to do with him, given the massive size. And of course, because of what I just mentioned, this moment means a lot to him. I love so much how it all ties together.
絶対見る死なせねえ
One more for that ending, because it's weird hearing it speak like normal when the old one was just a body for Shadow Luffy, really. As I was saying, the best keeps getting better. This really and truly does make for such a spectacle to behold. The way it's done is brilliant, I think. Bits like this make for a solid follow-up to the last win.
お前のデカさじゃ標的にされるぞ
Ace showing some serious compassion for his friend here, and I can't say he's wrong when I think about the one who helped a young Robin escape her island, taking all those cannon shots. What was I saying about a spectacle? He smashed that giant ship into those giants like it was no big deal. This battle has got freaking everything so far. The pirates having made it onto land for the first time this battle. Handy overhead view letting us know the full situation and where exactly they just rose up onto land here. And here they've now waited so long that the fight has come right to their own doorstep and a stronger Marine was needed to protect them. Seeing a giant versus giant battle and how much he's struggling with the difference in strength. Colour me shocked to see Oda include that, as usually something would stop the attack or whatever. Feels like that one should be added for the first Vice Admiral to be brought down. Whitebeard already seeming like such a legend to me, as he worries about Oars being brought down by being alone in the thick of it, and so orders them to give him cover as he charges on in. That was so harsh but so badass! I did wonder how, as a warlord, she'd be able to handle proper combat, and as it turns out, she can use her ability in interesting ways. Up to and including literally turning them into stone with her friggin' attacks. It should very much be noted that as awesome as this looks, meaning she's incredible in battle, which I didn't consider, she's also taking out a lot of Marines in the process. Her reasoning is flawless, as is she. I can tell that something huge is about to go down. He's going to teleport him away, or blast him with the eyes. I now know what he's doing. I can hardly take it. One, it's getting so tense I feel I can't breathe properly. But also that amazing looking fully zoomed out shot looking so good. I got two back-to-back max wins here for you. Firstly, it was this attack, able to bring such a giant foe to his knee sadly, but I can't hate on how great the attack itself was and the animation.
熱くねえのか? お前は太陽に近いから。
俺は
和の国で作り方を習ったんだ。
The second max wins is for this flashback, learning why Ace means so much to him, because he thought this up himself and was kind to him in a special way when he didn't have to be. Oh, he's so happy, it breaks my heart a little.
そっか、よかった。
That transition from then to now. And that really breaks my heart, man. It's the same thing as what I was talking about with the other giant. Ah! Oda remains an undisputed master when it comes to writing characters, even ones we only just met like an episode ago. It's so saddening to see him so close to Ace, but smart enough to quickly turn his falling into an attack to try and even the odds a little bit more by trying to take out a warlord quickly. First of all, I have a feeling he's about to be killed, sadly. But also I was thinking, what a simple premise regarding the weather no longer bothering him, and yet it's so touching. I gotta drop Max again. It genuinely hurts to see this happen to him. But how his words from the past were cut off with something so awful, it had to score it. I really gotta give it to the guy. You know, stuff like this means a lot to me. That he's trying with every ounce of strength he has left to reach Ace, and very likely will not. And take one for becoming the first pirate in this huge battle to actually make it to the plaza. Color me extremely shocked that it was him of all people who now launches his own attack on him. That's now broke me a little. To know he entered the battle so fresh, fought off so many foes and made it so close to him and still could only think about saving him. Damn, man. I just saw this as Oars wanting to be able to free him in order to make him smile again. Oh. Oh, damn. I really like how you can tell they're from his squad because of the unique masks they wear, which matches the equally unique face of their captain. Oda absolutely knew what he was doing when he made his rescue attempt so damn close. I'm actually giving 2 wins here, one in his honour, he went down fighting and was a hell of a combatant on the field, and another for being the first one, as I'm counting it, to have reached the platform Ace is on. And then another 2, this, quite frankly, amazing looking bird's eye shot. Then naturally one for his outstanding voice acting with that scream. Gave me a shiver up my spine, to be honest. As if that wasn't good enough already, we get the Whitebeard view afterwards and his palpable anger on display. My immediate reaction from this was to shake my head and literally say, "That is so cool," out loud. So yeah, easily scoring max wins. Whitebeard is new to me, but already such a legend. I just want to say, I don't see this as being disrespectful. In fact, I think Oars partly did what he did to make a land bridge direct to Ace, and well done for Whitebeard to take advantage of it. After all this time, finally getting to see what his power is, and it's a weird one right off the bat. Glad to see a shot that's actually away from the main staging area of the war, seeing the somewhat peaceful streets behind the lines. I'm winning this for 2 reasons. Firstly, it shows you the natural side to a lot of people in this situation, that fear can get the best of you, and the other reason is seeing how that's dealt with in this world. I mean, with him saying that and looking like that, how can I not give him a standalone win? You get a shocked one too. He basically melted the dude into a puddle. The best bird's eye view of the battle so far. So good, I had to show it first and then talk over it. Understanding how difficult this entire thing must be for Garp. In fact, I'm really pleased Oda, after everything that has gone down battle-wise so far, cut back to this. Again, just really clever thinking from the pirates to open up more space for men to get through to the bay. I cannot stress this enough. Any lesser writer may have made it about everyone charging everyone else. That's it. Maybe just a few big battles. Instead, I have so much respect for Oda making it legit about all of the above and more. Some lady we haven't even seen before now had a ship that can wreck their walls. And another one for the most excellent damage animation on the breaking away wall pieces too. Kawaii! Understanding his powers for the first time, in being able to completely control his enemy's body. This really is a cause for serious concern in the future, potentially, if that has no limits. As much as I hate him for being against our side right now, he makes a most excellent point here. This action report from the Navy excellently highlighting my prior win about tactics, by showing 2 different locations where the walls have given way and pirates are getting through. What a really weird devil fruit power! It's brief, but it's an even wider shot than the earlier one I gushed over. I cannot adequately explain just how impressed I am by Oda writing this into his story arc in the midst of all this war and have it be set up so long in advance, no less. That music, a younger Garp looking fondly at the child who fell asleep in his arms, and then cutting to the older man now walking up to the platform. It broke me a little bit, to be honest.
同情の余地はない。ならば、倒れ。
I'm super on edge right now. I figured he was called up there, but no. And he's not happy about him having come up there, and now he's told him to shut up, interrupting him in the process. Wow!
よかろう。ここにおるぐらい。
Ah, bloody Oda, man. He got me proper tearing up now. Just something about him saying screw the rules for a minute. I want to be with the boy in this moment. Wow, that's so simple but amazing.
何が海へ出たいじゃ。わしは絶対に許さんぞ。
I look at how Garp did try really hard to keep them both from their lives they're currently living.
エースと一緒に海に出る。
That ouch was absolute perfection. It was really sweet how Ace treated Luffy like a legit younger brother here.
いつ起こるか知れん戦闘に備え、食える時に目いっぱい食っておく。
How it was Garp who taught them this insane way of eating that they've always displayed.
全部食った。早っ。
Their joint reactions towards Luffy doing his thing. What I took away from this moment was that at certain times in their past, they really did resemble a little family.
悪党に同情はねえが、家族は違う。
Yeah, and there it is from him himself.
エース貴様、なぜわしの言う通りに生きなんだ。
Drop him, Max wins again. It was a touch too long to show, but there was a great rotating shot that led to this moment. And yeah, of course it got me going. I'm so sad right now.
強い海兵になるんじゃ。
One more for that. You can see it's hard on Ace seeing his grandfather, basically, in tears now at this.
危険のエースの処刑予定を無視して執行するって。
And then here's the reason for Garp's tears. That they're going to do it early. Whereas before, I suppose he had some hope and, more importantly, some time before the final moment came. They just sometimes include utterly stunning looking shots like this for just a few seconds, and I have so much respect for the people who toiled over them back then. As I watched this, just the biggest smile rose upon my face when I saw Luffy's hat and heard his voice. The way that was done animation-wise was incredible. Luffy coming to understand this midway through the fall. Even the warlords look shocked, but I love her reaction the most. She's so happy. For the introduction, a killer one all in all, and for the scream, Luffy scores the video, a last minute Max wins. And then a final one for that, to mark the end of a giant video. As I said in the last video, this was going to be a big one. No doubt the next will be equal in size. If you want to make me feel better about the hours upon hours of writing, recording and editing, then a pledge will put a smile on my face on Patreon and some rewards in your own pocket. See you there. Steelers, DoggosForLunch, GuruThor, Emerald Ember, JHeart25, Juice, Chrono, TheSwedishMuggle, Marcelus the Roman, Nexus47, Admiral Nugget, Moody Blues, Kody Tiffany, Timothy Wilcox, Curtis Daniels Jr., Tomo Sandy, Henrik Jessen, Tide Wes, David Ferrix, Flaming Blade, Olive Wharf, Furious Mo, Marlon Endriss, Salt Lover, Jokerims, Rimuru, Gamer Ludwig, Onks Khalif, Mushwin, Don, Robert Jackson, Sekomi Ororum, Starkip, Dante's Face, Miran Arjan, Cody Niemeyer, Snowy, Sarcastic Truth, Hit of the Wicked, Thrasher340, Owen Haloran, Extinct Hero, Alexander Schwartz, Dante Soul, Rodies, Dragon Boy 1, Iso, Cameron, Mudavirum, Tiger Lily Warrior, Knuckle Duster, Krystian Czuchta, Matthew Barr, Ruby Rose, Ghost Rider 176, Commander Cyrus, Cloud Garden, Luis Minito, Minimasher, Garrett Vermeesh, Ryan DeViries, Natsu Dragnil, A Joker, Willyman, Laxor, TRS, Liam Gagati, Kai158, Mr. Firecool, Wacky Normal, Zionx44, Lionel Schultz, Kevin Elston, Nozomi, Nick Monaco, Marvin, Sataiku Yari, Divikel, Christopher Willis, Michael Lewis, Cecilia, Nick Wyndham, Slazel, Guru, Cedric, Kevin102, Sean, Darth Weirdo, Dragonstorm35, Cumfreak, Kelnock, Marquez, Q Flash, Brainless Ben, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Your Edvinson, Kepan, Kyle Jones, Peter Milligan, John, The Elementator Wars, Amadillo, Nick Pell, Orkeeper, Jason Davies, Nightly Winter, Matthew Bluntset, Oscar I. Lopez, Jaffa6263, Storm 970, Isel Caldera, Kevin Nauta, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Stan, Ali50, Bird Without a Word, Chris Harris, 9028, Headshot Hunter, Brandon Creer,